Your credit score lives in a server farm in Atlanta. But the logic behind it, a standardized record of who owes what, stretches back 5,500 years to the Sumerian city-states of southern Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. 1,000 years before coinage was invented, temple scribes in Uruk and Ur were engraving barley credits, silver weight debts, and tax obligations onto clay tablets. This was a pre-monetary debt system. The accounting technology that still shapes your mortgage rate, your tax bill, your retirement account, and which credit card approval you'll get today. Cuneiform, that is to say, triangular wedge marks pressed into clay with a reed, formed the world's first ledger records and scaled early market exchange, state power, and debt forgiveness policies. Mesopotamia's history runs approximately from 3500 BC to 2000 BC, during which temples and palaces filled their archives with these tablets, each one a kind of pre-blockchain transaction, immutable, portable, auditable. Today, US Treasury bonds, enterprise compliance software, real estate finance, and AI risk controls all rest on the same principle. Neither credit nor tax scales without trustworthy, standardized records. So let's see how it started in Sumer, whom it served, and why this matters for your modern financial tech. Mesopotamia was the alluvial plain between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in today's southern Iraq, a place where intensive irrigated agriculture produced record wheat and barley, but where there was no common minted coin for exchange. Around 3500 BC, temple administrators in the city of Uruk ran into a problem. They were paying thousands of workers in barley, leasing fields, lending grain ahead of planting and harvesting, but had no system to track who got what and when it must be repaid. The solution came with reed styluses and wet clay, the system called cuneiform. A scribe would take a tablet and write the transaction. 5 kur of barley, about 950 liters, to a particular farmer, repayable at the next harvest at an interest of 13.5%. The tablet would then be dried in the sun or baked in a kiln. Permanent, portable, fraud-resistant. This wasn't the first bookkeeping in the historian's sense, but it was the first scalable debt record. The tablet was not silver itself, but a representation of silver. Not grain itself, but a claim on grain. In modern terms, the Sumerians invented credit scoring, payment flows, and tax auditing without coins. Why that matters for your mortgage rate or your company's corporate cash management. Because every mortgage, every treasury auction, every cybersecurity audit, and every B2B payment network rests on the same foundational assumption that standardized records scale trust. The Sumerian temples understood that 5,000 years ago. The tablets serve 3 main functions: credit, tax, and contracted labor. A merchant might borrow in silver weight for the next trade expedition. The tablet recorded the obligation, the relevant god listed as witness. A farmer might work on temple land, pay a specified amount in grain at harvest, the tablet serving as a lease contract. State workers, weavers, smiths, construction teams received their barley rations via tablets, the temple scribes keeping mass payroll records. In this system, silver was not yet coinage. A unit of value and weight standard, often measured in shekels, about 8.4 grams. Most actual payments were made in barley, wool, dates, or labor, but debt was recorded in silver equivalent, giving comparability across the market. That abstraction was critical. Just as today, your mortgage principal balance is denominated in dollars, though you might pay it from a salary, car, or stock portfolio, so the Sumerian debtor could make mixed asset payments despite the reference unit being silver. And just as today, a bank computes capital adequacy or your retirement account balances asset allocations. Sumerian scribes maintained multi-category ledgers. Archives from Lagash, dated circa 2400 BC, show vaults of tens of thousands of tablets, each categorized, dated, and sealed. So how did the system run? In the Sumerian city-states, temples and later palaces combined economic and religious authority. If a debtor defaulted, payment could come from the family's labor, sometimes turning into debt serfdom, an arrangement periodically relieved by royal debt forgiveness edicts. These edicts, known as amargi, meaning return to the mother, prevented social instability and restarted credit markets. They were not arbitrary. They were calculated fiscal policy, like today's central bank rate cuts or student loan forbearance debates. In modern terms, Sumerian rulers discovered monetary policy tools to manage debt deflation, social discontent, and economic stagnation. The United States today is having similar debates. Student loan forgiveness, mortgage bailouts, COVID loan forbearance, all modern versions of a royal edict. The difference is that Sumerian kings tracked who was forgiven via sealed tablets and temple archives, whereas modern governments use credit bureaus, treasury databases, and IRS compliance software. The infrastructure changed. The logic did not. Now let's ask why the system didn't collapse. And the answer links the Sumerian tablets to today's billions of dollars in corporate compliance, cybersecurity, and fintech spending. Sumerian scribes used 5 controls: seals, witnesses, archive duplicates, periodic audits, And fear of the gods. Each tablet was stamped with the official cylinder seal, a carved stone that left a unique impression when rolled. Today's digital signatures, blockchain hashes, or multi-factor authentication make fraud costly. Major transactions required witnesses. Names listed on the tablet, offering social pressure in case of dispute. Temples kept archive copies. So if a debtor lost their tablet, the temple could issue a backup record. And periodic audits caught scribal nonconformity or embezzlement. Fear of the gods was the final layer. The temple's economic power was intertwined with religious legitimacy. So fraud on a tablet was not just a crime, it was a sin. Today, religious sanctions have mostly faded from fintech, but the structural parallels endure. Corporate B2B payment networks, anti-money laundering, and KYC compliance spend billions on multi-signature approvals and AI-powered fraud detection. All modern versions of the Sumerian seals and witness lists. Cybersecurity firms deliver immutable audit logs, the digital equivalent of Sumerian tablet archives. Cloud-based accounting platforms guarantee real-time sync and backup, just like the temple scribes kept duplicate copies. And regulatory tech, RegTech, provides automatic compliance checks, replacing the Sumerian audits. So studying Sumerian finance is not just ancient history, it's decoding the backbone of modern fintech architecture. Now let's link it directly to US personal finance and public policy. Why do Sumerian tablets matter for your credit score? Mortgage rate, tax return, and retirement account? In the United States, 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, keep standardized debt records for every consumer. Just like the Sumerian temples kept tablets for every debtor. Your payment history, your unpaid balances, the age of your accounts, all feed an algorithmic score that determines which credit card you'll get, what mortgage rate you'll pay, and sometimes which job you'll land. Like the Sumerian system, American credit scoring scales trust. Lenders can evaluate hundreds of thousands of applicants without personally knowing each one, but like the Sumerian system, it's vulnerable to errors, faulty records, and systemic bias. Credit report errors affect millions of Americans, just as a lost or fake Sumerian tablet could send a farmer into wrongful debt serfdom. And debt forgiveness debates, student loans, medical bills, mortgage foreclosures mirror the Sumerian Amarji edicts. The balancing of social stability cost and creditor rights. On the taxation side, the Internal Revenue Service relies on standardized records. Analogous to the Sumerian temple's tracking of barley allocations, Americans contribute to workplace retirement plans, health savings accounts, individual retirement accounts, all requiring IRS-compliant record keeping. Businesses track depreciation, inventory, and payroll. Digital descendants of the multi-category ledgers held by Sumerian temple accountants, and the Treasury markets, with state debt trading over $25 trillion outstanding, are the ultimate scale of record-reliant trust. A treasury bond is much like a Sumerian silver debt tablet from 5,000 years ago. Portable, standardized, tradable in a secondary market, and backed by state authority. The difference is electronic records and global liquidity scale. But the core principle is the same. Debt can precede money if the record is trusted. That's why real estate finance, commercial mortgage-backed securities, home equity loans, and property tax liens all depend on ledger integrity. Insurance companies maintain actuarial tables and claims records. The accounting of risk pools parallels Sumerian grain reserve management, and corporate treasury functions, cash flow forecasting, FX hedging, interest rate swaps, are sophisticated versions of the double entry concept carved in Sumer. So, whether you're buying a house, filing a tax return, saving for retirement, or running a business, you're operating in the logic of the Sumerian debt tablets. Standardized records, third-party verification, and state backing. Now, one final question. What modern risks does this ancient system carry? The Sumerian tablets were physical objects, potentially destroyed by fire, flood, or looting. Today, records are digital, which means cybersecurity breaches, data loss, and algorithmic bias pose the risk. An Equifax breach exposes millions of credit records, the digital equivalent of the temple archive being looted. So AI risk controls, balanced data privacy, and automated decision-making in lending. A debate reminiscent of the Sumerian scribes' reliance on authority and fear of gods. And fintech platforms, digital banking, peer-to-peer payments, cryptocurrency, recreate or bypass traditional intermediaries, just as temple mediation underpinned the Sumerian tablets. Blockchain advocates propose decentralized ledgers. Every participant keeps a copy, no temple or central bank required. Yet scale, energy cost, and regulatory compliance challenges persist. So after 5,500 years, the fundamental problem solved by the Sumerian clay tablets remains unsolved. How to scale trust, security, privacy, and accountability in debt records. Pre-monetary debt was not at the origin of money. It was deeper. Without a shared record, neither credit, tax, nor modern finance is possible. The The Sumerian scribes knew this, built their temples, baked their tablets, and launched the systems we use today. Credit scores, mortgage portfolios, treasury markets, enterprise compliance software, and AI-powered risk management. In the next chapter, we'll be back here with another historical financial event. Subscribe to our special channel for our first video, and if you like it, drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love that.